Disclaimer. I doesn't claim any of the arts. All the picture shown belongs to the respective artist and company. If you are original owner and want me to remove the video, I will do it immediately. Just send me an email to inform me. All the participants combined their forces to defeat Kim. They activated their skill and used them to attack Kim continuously without interruption. With combined attack of the participants, a huge explosion happens. And it is not clear what exactly happened to Kim. Is this combined force of participants could defeat Kim? One of them says that participants get rid of him right away. He's taken down 2 S-rankers alone since first round. If we don't eliminate him first, he will take us all down. Suddenly, in center of all that magic, chaos, and destruction, Kim comes out of it with full power to defeat all of them. All of the participants are scared because Kim comes for them. He activates his stone skill, strikes them one by one to their head and stomach, and broke their teeth. Kim defeated all of them just by one move, and because of that, all of them were suspended in the air. All of them were on the ground, and Kim was standing still with a smile on his face. Suddenly, the ground that Kim's standing on it breaks, and something green is coming out of it. It was plant that was growing with speed and was making his way from ground. It seems that someone is controlling it. The plant grabs Kim and lifts him from ground. Kim doesn't know what this thing is, but when as Kim looks at front, he sees on of the A-ranked participants that is controlling the plant. The participant says to Kim that, "You may have taken down 2 S-rankers, but having your guard down you're undoing. Now the final winner of this test shall be me, the A-ranked genius, Lee Gilsan." But this plant is nothing against Kim. Kim cuts the stems of the plant into pieces and smashes Lee Gilsan's face with his feet. Lee Gilsan loses consciousness due to the severity of Kim's blow, and Kim demands his next opponent. The one of them participants call Kim a monster and says, "Everyone, keep attacking him continuously, no stopping. If we keep the attacks going, I'm sure he will get exhausted at some point." But doesn't care what they're going to do, and he points his finger at them and activates Knight's King's spirit skill. All of the participants activated their skill and running full speed towards Kim. But in a moment, a red light fills the space or get attacked by Knight's King's spirit skill. And because of that, they were on the ground. They couldn't get up. This skill was so strong that even the aerial spectators who were away from the racing ground could feel it. Go and park. Even the reporter was in shock. All of the battleground was in Kim's control. Even Lim's sister Yua Young was also amazed by this power of Kim. She called Kim lunatic. And how couldn't believe that how can Kim uses such skill in the dead center? When the dust is cleared from battleground, we see Kim was victorious in his battle. He defeated all of the participants who were attacking him. All of their bodies were lying on the ground. Among that, Kim says that. And with that, we are all wrapped up. All that remains now is... Kim looks into the dust. He sees that Lim Ah-young is coming out of it. She grabbed his arm. It seems that she is tired. Kim says that, "What do you want to do, Lim Ah-young?" It seems that Lim was intimidated by seeing Kim's power. Kim continues saying that, "I don't mind you withdraw from the test right now, or do you want to repeat the first round?" Finally, Lim overcomes his fear and activates his ice skill. And like first round, she creates a huge ice ball in the Coliseum. In that large ice ball Kim was standing, he was seemed bored because Lim was using same tactic and move as first round. And while he created the same doable aged hammer like first round, Lim called Kim and told him to be wary about himself. And with angry face and filled with rage, Lim yelled at Kim, "Because this time that won't be happening." But Kim, with a smile on his face, said to her, "You sure about that?" Then we see that big ice ball is cracked and Lim's double-aged hammer was laid on the ground. Lim was defeated by Kim. She was falling. Lim was defeated by Kim again. Kim was standing. Kim said, "As expected of you, Lim Ah-young, you were still the most difficult opponent." Then the reporter said that, with the player tryouts have ended, the top qualifier of this player tryouts is applicant number 920, Kim Tae-hyun. At the next scene, we are in the chairman office. He says to Kim that, "These are your reward for placing as the top qualifier. Congratulations on becoming an S-rank player. By the way, I didn't expect you to single-handedly end the third round. Or, rather, is it to be expected of you considering you cleared Apocalypto?" Kim, while sitting on a chair on other side of a desk and holding dagger with his rewards, replied to Chairman that he was merely lucky. While Chairman was smiling, called Kim and said, "How about joining the new South Korea Player Association?" Kim was surprised to hear this. Kim doesn't expected to hear this. Chairman, with seriously face, was waiting for Kim's response. After thinking, Kim said, "Truly, a lot has changed. Put aside the fact that an unawakened like me became an S-ranker and even placed as the top qualifier, I even got a scouting offer from not just a leader of a great guild, but also Ji Jinwi, the greatest in the new South Korea Association. My goodness, even when you think you know this world, you really don't know what'll happen. However, I'd like to decline." By hearing this, Chairman got surprised. He got up for his chair, slammed his both hands on the desk, said to Kim why he is declining this offer. Kim replied that there is no special reason for it, and continued, "I just believe that rather than being a member of one of the four great guilds or association, it'll be more effective to work alone. I'm sorry I couldn't be any help to you." Chairman. By hearing Kim's reason about declining his offer, he begins to laughing loudly, and while his laughing Kim finishes his tea, Chairman sits on his chair and says, "I never imagined you'd say that you're better off alone rather than in the great guilds or the association." That level of confidence, huh? All right, in that case, how about we do something else instead of joining the association? Kim says, "Something else?" Then Chairman makes an offer to Kim and says, "Are you interested in participating in the Asian exhibition games?" We see monsters with red eyes that are ready to attack. Kim tears them into pieces with his predation skill and defeats them with minimum effort, and monsters' parts are falling on the ground. Then we see the Kim has been fighting for a while now, and monsters' corpses are all over the dungeon. Kim cleared the dungeon. While Kim was leaving the dungeon through the gate, he was thinking about Asian exhibition games. Asian exhibition games. 5 representatives are chosen from the associations and guilds of each country within Asia for a festival of hunting down villains and monsters. But to be picked as a national representative, to prove you've hunted down monsters and villains for the sake of the country, you would need to acquire some merit points. Kim remembers that Chairman said, "Given your history of advancing, it's definitely a worthy goal to target as far as I'm concerned." But Kim knows that it's not an easy thing to do. Kim just became a player. To catch up to the merit points everyone's stacked over years, I'm gonna have to hunt down monsters and villains that are way stronger. I've been clearing all dungeons known to the new South Korea Association for a month, but far from getting merit points, I haven't been able to advance any further. I guess I have no choice, even if it's dangerous. I'm going to have to go there after all. Then we see Lee's mansion, president of Tyson Group's house. We see that instead of Mansion Lee, Jung-soo grabs his son's bodyguard, and with his power lifts him to the air and wants to choke him, while bodyguard struggling says, "Chairman, please calm down." But Jung-soo is furious and says, "T-Sun's heir, my son, is still in the damn hospital, and the culprit behind that is now an S-rank player on the rise, yet you want me to calm down?" He, with massive power, slammed the bodyguard to the ground and made a huge wave. With that, ground was broken and bodyguard was unconscious. Suddenly, Maid of House came in and said to the chairman that there's a guest from the Malignant Guild. Jung-soo was surprised. He angrily said, "Malignant? Those rascals who couldn't get rid of one brat after stuffing all that money down their damn throats? How dare they show their faces here?" He was going to attack, but suddenly he saw that something was emerging. A portal was appeared, and a man was coming out of it. The man said, "The matter with your son was truly a shame, but you should calm down first. That lowly brat isn't Taeson's final target now, is he?" Jung-soo recognized the man. He was sweating. It seems that he was scared. The man introduced himself and said that he was the vice guildmaster of the Malignant Guild, and said, "You may call me Shadow." In somewhere else, Kim comes out of a gate, and he sees that someone calls him. Kim surprises. Kim sees a man holding a paper in his hand that says, "Youngest S-ranked Kim Tae-yun" in front of Guild's door. The man says, "I'm going to be your guide for the auction. I'm an A-ranker from the Alchemists." Then he shouts, "My name's Park Jeon-woong. It's an honor to meet you. Park Jeon-woong is A-rank player. That hired as a bodyguard by the Alchemists Guild for the auction. and he is member of Kim Tae-hyun's fan club. His skill is gate manipulation. He continues saying, after seeing you overpower everyone in the third round of player tryouts, I became a fan. Could I get an autograph, please? It seems that Kim was bored from all of this. Kim now was a S-ranked player and a SVIP member of Alchemist. This place is Asia's greatest auction region. Est Point, the largest scale within auction items of the greatest quality, automatic interpretation skill support, and so on. Est Point has great deal of positive points. But even among them, the one point that's considered the would-be there, security wanted have Kim's autograph on his forehead, and Kim asked him, are he sure about that? Kim gave him his autograph, and bodyguards said that. Bodyguards from the guilds like me, that are a part of the auction, definitely play a role, but the constant changing of asterisk warp point actually makes it impossible to reach here without approval. That's probably the main reason there were no security issues the past decades. Kim, thinking with himself that bodyguard is right. It's certainly deserving of being called the best in security. Yet, an S-rank villain's terror attack will take place today in this very place. At next page, we see an auctioneer say, finally! It's finally here. The best item on sale for this auction. It's called the Phoenix Potion. Just drinking it will boost your stamina and magic by 20 points each. Kim is in the auction too, and he watches it from above. Kim thinks that, now all I gotta do is wait for the terror attack, eliminate the S-rank villain, and get merit points. But the problem is I have zero information whatsoever about this. And bidders raise their bid cards in front of auctioneer to buy the item. And while the bidders want to buy the item, Kim thinks that before my regression, the news only reported the serious damage that East Point suffered, and that the main culprit of the terror attack was Narendra Nairu. But who on earth stop it? Suddenly, Kim sees that Mr. Park Jeon-woon, with 2 ice cream in his hand, approaching him. Kim asked him that who is the chief of security officer here. Park wanted to know why Kim wanted to know such information, and Kim replied to him that I just have a question. Am I not allowed to know? Park says that that's not case, but suddenly someone laughs and says, look who it is, the 12th S-rank player of New South Korea and the youngest S-ranker. We see men and women in white uniforms with sword on their belts moving among people and approaching Kim. Then we see a man with white suit with a sword on his back is in front, and he is approaching Kim with smile and says, we have Kim Tae-hyun here. He was the devil. Isaki Ryohei, Japanese S-rank player, East Point chief security officer. Kim wonders who Ryohei is, and Park says, he's an S-ranking Japanese player and also the chief security officer. And Park warns Kim to be mindful because he has even stabbed his comrades for his own benefit. The players call him the devil. Isaki Ryohei says that, I heard that New South Korea had sent an extraordinary genius here, but I didn't expect to meet you here in person. Ryohei reached out to shake Kim's hand. Meanwhile, Kim wondered why did he want to shake my hands with his left hand. With that, Kim also reached out to shake hand with Ryohei, but in moment that they both garbed each other's hand, Ryohei activates his skill. Kim feels power of Ryohei's skill, but Kim resists it. Kim deals the pressure of Ryohei's skill. Ryohei sees Kim's that Kim can resist his skill, and with that he looks up and with red eyes laughs and says, who would have thought you could endure this? I guess you're an S-ranker after all, huh? Kim couldn't believe how he can do that. But suddenly Kim notices that Ryohei's power also affected the people around them. They couldn't breathe with. That Kim knows that if he go against him here, civilians will get dragged into this. But suddenly, while Kim was thinking, Ryohei said that, I guess that was an excessive prank on a kid who just became an S-rank player. He releases Kim's hand and hugs him and says to Kim's ear that should have taught you may be an S-ranker, but you're not on the same level as me. I don't know why you came here. But don't try to pull any useless stunts, lay low and get lost, brat. Well then have fun at the auction. He laughs and leaves the place with his team. Bodyguard was in shock, and Kim noticed that how much strong was the Ryohei. And Kim knows that this is going to be trickier than he thought. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Stay tuned for the next chapters.